Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back here to today's episode of The Fishing Teacher, and really appreciate you guys swinging by the channel to spend some time with me on the video. Always appreciate that. And guys, today we're going to be talking about when you want to fish a red colored plastic worm, like a red shad, something like that. It's a really good color in the summertime of the year under certain conditions. So I'm going to sort of really go over to you guys the best set of scenarios that you want to use red, where it outproduces everything else. Also, guys, just a quick reminder that this month Tackle Warehouse has got a lot of good sales on the reels right now. If you guys are looking to purchase a reel or two, if you guys go into my link in my description and use my Tackle Warehouse link to purchase that reel, it's a good way to support the channel and get you a good reel and help the channel out at the same time. So really appreciate that. Okay, guys, this is the red shad worm like this. Now, red shad is sort of like sometimes it's sort of like a two-tone. On a red shad, there's very few worms that are just straight red. Most of them are red shad like this, and they've got some degree of red and maybe a little bit of black like that. They call it a red shad. And guys, this color has been around forever. It was one of the first colors of plastic worms once they started moving past like just straight purple, straight blue, and straight black. You know, in the 70s, you had three colors of worms. You had a purple worm, which me and my dad used all the time. You had a black worm and you had a blue worm. And then this red shad was one of the first colors that came on about that. And it's been catching fish forever. So here's what you got to remember when you're fishing a red shad worm, because in all of my years of fishing plastic worms and creature baits and stuff like this, red shad is a summertime color, whatever it is about it, with the exception of in Florida. If you guys fish in Florida in that sort of that black tannic acid water, red shad is a staple in Florida. That's sort of an outlier a little bit. But I'm talking about the rest of the country. It's a summertime color if you got the right conditions. Now, the ideal conditions for a red shad worm is stained water. And when I'm talking about stained water, I'm talking about water visibility anywhere between, say, like a foot to 3 foot deep, depending upon how deep you're fishing. If you're fishing shallow cover, say for example, you're pitching or flipping shallow docks, or pitching and flipping a lay down, or flooded bushes or anything like that, you want a little bit dirtier water. You want that water visibility to be around 12 inches, maybe 15 inches at the most. It's a really good color for that. And if you're fishing deeper, say for example, if you're fishing deeper points in the summertime, like in that 10 to 20 foot zone, the red shad is going to work better up into water visibilities down about 3 feet. Now, there's a couple different types of worms. That Zoom old monster that they make in a red shad's a real good one. Culprit makes some good ones. This is an old Lucky Strike razor worm here. But whatever model of worm that you use, just try to let the water clarity dictate, when you use a red shad worm. My ideal scenario, guys, as far as the number of fish I've caught on red shad, it would be this, and I've caught a ton of them, like on Grand Lake in Oklahoma on it, is 12 inches of water visibility and shallow wood cover, a lay down log, a stump in the water, a dock. If you have a flooded willow trees, even if they're in shallow water, that can be really good. But guys, I have caught a ton of fish flipping flooded lay down trees and logs in dirty water in the summertime on a red shad worm. Another piece of advice I'll give you on a red shad worm in the summertime is go light with your slip sinker. Now, here again, this is just something that I've figured out over the years of time. Most people think that they pitch and flip with heavier weights in the summertime of the year because you get a reaction strike from that fast fall. But I have found when you're flipping stained water with a red shad worm in the summertime, I go light, usually an 1/8 of an ounce sinker, maybe a 3/16 at the most. And there's something about the combination of that subtle flash a red shad puts out going down pretty slow in that off-colored shallow water. It's just really appealing to the fish. So anyway, guys, a lot of people have never tried red shad or red worms. If you haven't, give them a try. This is the time of year they work. So let me know how it works out, and we'll talk later.